Good evening, people. My name is Immortal Solitude, also known as XX Exiles, with a capital middle X and an easy at the end, as well as Scythe in Genshin Impact, and the end has come in Wuthering Waves. And today we will be comparing the two gacha giants, and we will try to determine which one is the better game based on various unbiased criteria by yours truly. I hope you're enjoying the stock footage waves that Microsoft PowerPoint just like suggested to me because I have waves in the in the title. Yeah, let's get started on our analysis. So exploration, we can start right off the bat and say that Wuthering Waves exploration is better in terms of just playing. Because of how easy it is to understand and track chests and how simple the puzzles are, I always feel like I've got somewhere to go or something to do, while Genshin often makes me feel like I get stuck in places. In terms of area design, both games look fantastic. I do think, though, Genshin's areas are slightly prettier. Genshin has a more historical-ish setting, and the areas reflect that very well with all the natural scenery. Wuthering Waves has a more futuristic look to it, which just doesn't blend as well with all the natural scenery. Personally, I think that, there are ways to intertwine it better, but I also think that Wuthering Waves could lean into a more sci-fi look, and I think that would fit the game really well. And Death is Deep is a fantastic example of that. My absolute favorite area in the game. Okay, next slide. Combat. I do think that Wuthering Waves is more of a mechanics game, and Genshin Impact is more of a character or team building game. Now, that's not to say that character building in Wuthering Waves isn't important, and that's not to say that mechanics in Genshin are not important, but Wuthering Waves draws more emphasis on the mechanics, right? Wuthering Waves has all these like special animations for dodges, right? All these special mechanics for like counters, quick swapping, which is why I do think that as far as like the actual gameplay goes, Wuthering Waves is 100% more fun to play than Genshin is. But I do think that character building in Genshin, because it's more impactful, it feels a little bit more fulfilling and a little bit more like engaging to build characters in Genshin Impact. In Wuthering Waves, obviously there's that impact of the character building, but it does feel like Wuthering Waves just doesn't quite emphasize that team synergy quite as much as Genshin Impact does. I think that Wuthering Waves, without a doubt, handles difficulty better, because in Wuthering Waves, when you play the hologram difficulties, oftentimes the bosses will actually get completely different new mechanics. Oh shit. That is, in my opinion, how you actually handle difficult gameplay well, right? It's that you add some fun, new gameplay mechanics, and there's always new things to mold over. Whereas in Genshin Impact, they almost never do that. In Genshin Impact, right, in Spiral Abyss, what they always do is they just add more enemies and they just have them have more health. I think Genshin Impact is better when it's easy. I think it's more fun that way, because gacha games are off games anyway. Your main game should be Elden Ring, and that's it, right? There's no other games out there. Okay, next slide. Next slide. We've talked about everything. Writing. Oh boy. Even though Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact players generally don't get along with each other, for a moment, I'm gonna unite them against me by saying that I think the story in both games is not that good. Don't get me wrong, the characters in these games are really cool, and sometimes some fun things happen, but the pacing for both of these games is just so all over the place. I do not think that Huang Long needed to be 7 acts long, and I do not think that every Archon quest needs to last for 15 hours. Right? That is 2 full seasons of Attack on Titan on every Archon quest. Right? That is ridiculous. The story could go twice as fast in these games, and it would still feel like it's dragging. And the dialogue isn't much better. It's fun when the characters banter with each other, but that happens few and far between. And the moment that these characters begin talking about anything lore related, it's like their entire personality is just thrown out the window. Alto turns from like this fun guy, right, with all these like fun, wacky, like, like him being confident and all that. The moment he starts talking about lore, he just becomes a robot that just reads off a document. You should show it in a way where Alto's personality is still present while he's talking about the lore, and that will actually make it more engaging. But both of these games just don't seem to do that. But I will say, once again, Wuthering Waves is better simply because it has a skip button. Although for main story, I haven't used it yet. I've used it for side quests. Okay, next. Gotcha! The reason why people play these games. In terms of rewards or scarcity, I mean, Wuthering Waves wins. Less max pity, guaranteed 5-star weapons. The one thing Genshin does have over Wuthering Waves is the fact that Genshin's last anniversary actually gave you that free 5-star character that everyone had wanted for, while Wuthering Waves just put up like 24 banners in like a single patch, which is kind of psychotic. As far as character designs go, really important for gacha games because this is where all the money comes from. I think that in both of these games, the characters are really fun. They have fun personalities most of the time. Interesting designs. But I do think that Genshin's best designs are slightly better than Wuthering Waves' best designs. Genshin has characters like Hu Tao, Zhongli, Arlecchino, Farina, Nahida, Paimon, all characters with very striking designs. Now, that's not to say that Wuthering Waves doesn't have good character designs. It absolutely does. Wuthering Waves has characters like Zani, Rover, Shorekeeper. I just think that, like, currently as it stands, Genshin Impact's characters have more of an impact. Longevity, aka power creep. Wuthering Waves is hard to judge. Hasn't been out for that long. It's been like a year. But I do know Genshin's power creep. And I can say that compared to other gacha games, Genshin's power creep is actually not that bad. It's bad, but it's not that bad. The fact that characters like Xinqiu, Bennett, Xiangling, characters who've been around since the game's beginning and are still useful 5 years later for a gacha game, that is impressive. But characters like Malwika, Shilonen, and Nuviet are still just egregious. That's how it goes. Community. In terms of in-game community, I can definitely say that Genshin has the nicest and the most chill player base that I've ever seen. I've actively played co-op and let people join my world ever since the dinosaurs, and I can count all the bad interactions I've had on one hand. Outside of the game, though, and I'm just gonna assume that Wuthering Waves is kind of the same. I haven't had the pleasure of interacting with the Wuthering Waves people on in game so far. I have no reason to not assume the very best. Events. I don't know why. Events. What the fuck is this slide? I don't know. They're events. Soundtrack. I don't know music. So, Jinshi is boring. Elden Ring Night Rain. It's okay. Not Cry, I'm molding. Ever since I found it out, I'm still molding. I've been wanting to see the big snowy area, right, of Snezhnaya. I've wanted to see the Russian block buildings for 5 years, ever since they showed that fucking roadmap. And now they're like, oh, we're gonna delay it for a year because our higher-ups don't understand how to pace a fucking story, and we had to drag every single part of it out. And now 5 years later, we've realized, oh god, wait, we've done nothing with the story so far. Wow, crazy. And what annoys me the most is how every single person that I've seen, they're praising it as a good thing. Oh, well, like, oh, I mean, that happens, right? Like, oh, you didn't know what you were doing, but now you know what you're doing, right? Oh, yeah, let's just, like, expand the story by, like, 5,000% for no reason. Because we've spent 15 hours on every single Archon quest and nothing fucking happens. Fucking hell, I'm so mad. And everyone's like, oh, but the lore. Oh, but the lore. It doesn't matter how good the lore is when the story doesn't even give a shit about how it presents itself or how it comes across. Like, what the fuck is... Dude, I'm so mad. Oh, but we're not ready for it. Oh, I want this story to be fun. I want to have fun reading it. But when the story tells me that, oh well, I don't give a shit, right? I'm just gonna here take this fucking sloppily written dialogue, right? And like if you don't like it, then you don't. And like I get that treatment from the story, and then all the fucking lore enjoyers, they're like, what? How did you not enjoy it? Right? Oh my god, you're so lazy. You didn't go through all the fucking sloppily written item descriptions. Fucking hell, dude. Like you have an audio visual medium, right? You had the character assets. You have a full animation team, right? Even with all like the 3D animations, there's so many things that you could do with the story, and instead you choose to hide all of it in fucking item descriptions. Does Aether and Lumine, do they have like the power like to fucking they can do like the Psyche K thing where they can like read the items past or something? Is that like a power that they have? Why the fuck can we get information only through item descriptions? What the fuck kind of logic is that? I hate this kind of shit. Anyway, I'm still molding. I'm still molding. Snezhnaya being delayed for a year. That's the real Genshin killer. I'm moving to the next slide. Oh yeah. Implications. What was this slide supposed to be? I think I made this slide because I wanted to talk about how I think that Wuthering Waves and Genshin Impact being competitors is ultimately a good thing. I think that Genshin players should want for Wuthering Waves to outsell Genshin, and I think that Wuthering Waves fans should want for Genshin to outsell Wuthering Waves. I don't think that you want the game you love to be a monopoly, because I think that it's just gonna incentivize the creators to get away with making sloppy, shitty decisions. Even when I didn't play Wuthering Waves, right, I was like I hope to God that fucking game is as good as people say it is. One thing though is that I don't think the fan bases hating each other is a good thing, right? I think it's best that the fan bases just chill and tiger it up and let the companies do the war. So, Genshin Impact or Wuthering Waves? The winner is ZZZ, because it has trigger. I have not played the game.